What up, guys? How's it going? Astro here, and today we are starting something new. This is going to be a weekly video. Every Tuesday is what I'm thinking about, and that's what it's going to be for right now. We'll see if it changes. But this is going to be a weekly review of Star Citizen. Now, when I say a weekly review, I don't mean news of what is going to be coming to Star Citizen in the future. We might actually be doing a weekly video on that as well. But what I mean by a weekly review of Star Citizen, I mean Star Citizen now. How is Star Citizen playing today? Let's talk about what we did, what me and my crew did, what my crew and I did this week in Star Citizen, and how well did it perform. That's what this is going to be about. We're going to give you updates every week on how Star Citizen is performing. And I'm doing this because I play this game every single day. And I do it at least 4 or 5 hours, if not more, a day. So me and my org, we're busy. We're always on the game, and so if anybody knows how it's performing, I think we have a good idea of how it's performing. I mean, you know, we just have lots of tests, lots of things to pull from and things. And I'm gonna give it all to you guys, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be the highlights, the lowlights. We're gonna just be straight up with Star Citizen, and we're gonna talk about it. And some of it's gonna be positive, some of it's gonna be negative. I'm a very positive person, so I like to look at the high points of things more than the lows because I want to be happy. I mean, I want things to get better, so we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna give criticism on the things that are bad. Don't get me wrong, we will talk about the things that are bad, and I promise you I will do that. But for the most part, I still try to stay up, just because I just want to be up as a person. That's just the way I am. I give out positive vibes. I just want to be that way. But there are bads, and we are going to talk about bads every single week. We know Star Citizen's not perfect. We play the game even though it's not perfect, because it's still fun even though it's not perfect. So let's get into it, guys. This week we're going to talk about all the things that I do. So my org and I can't give you reviews on things that we don't do. So we don't do everything in the game every single week. So this week I didn't do very much salvaging or mining. So I can't give you an update on salvaging or mining because we just didn't do it. I actually did do a little bit of salvaging and mining, but I didn't get any video of it. So even if I did, I don't have any proof. I can tell you, I mean, salvaging is kind of weird with server lag at the moment. Mining is okay as long as you're not mining hadanite in rocks, then mining is okay for the most part. That's all I'm going to talk about on mining and salvage right here in the very beginning of the video. But we're going to talk about ship combat, bunkers, and player combat, because we did a lot of player combat this week, and we always do ship combat, and we always do bunkers. So we're going to talk about bounties, bunkers, and player bounties, and pirating, because there was that as well. So I know this is kind of a long intro, but this is the first one of this series. I'm going to be doing this every single week. We're going to review Star Citizen, so let's get into it. So starting off today, guys, we're going to start off with what I do most, and that's ship combat. So I'll tell you right off the bat, we got a couple clips, and we'll go through them, and we'll talk about it. So starting off with the good, ship combat is always okay, in my opinion. Even if the server FPS is low, if the server FPS is high, you can still have some fun doing ship combat depending on your ship choices and your bounty choices. So we'll start off here with some beautiful, thick 600i footage, and we'll talk about it. I'll see you after the clip. Let's see how much damage we're going to use 2 of them. We'll use 2 of them. And look, it's saying that we're already on target to smack them, and we're gonna go look at the damage we just did to them with those size 3s. So they're throwing missiles at us. We're gonna dodge those, which we did. That was cool. We're gonna switch the thrusters here, get our target on him. Boom, there it is. Target on the Valk, and he should pop any second. Oh, he didn't pop because we missed the shot. That was my fault, not the ship's fault. And pop. There it is. Hostile eliminated. Oh well. Valkyrie is our final target. And like I said, we're going to hit over 400k and that is a amazing done deal job for me. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds to take this guy out. 1 minute and 30 seconds before the hour is upon us. We're gonna go ahead and let our shots fly. We're gonna swap to our guns, and we're just gonna watch him melt. Avoid the reclaimer. Target eliminated. Alright guys, so what you guys think about those clips? So this was obviously from a video earlier in the week from a 600i video I did where I made as much money as I could in an hour using a 600i, and I do love that ship. That is like my favorite big ship, favorite non-fighter ship. So I had a blast making it, and for the most part the server was running pretty great. It wasn't high FPS. You could obviously tell in those clips that the server FPS wasn't very high. But still, in ship combat, the ships will wake up and they'll fly around and they'll fight you. And Valkyries can be pretty annoying to kill right now. Currently, the Valkyries are actually pretty strong, but the 600i just overpowered them. And for the most part, it was a fun time. And so in those clips, ship bounties was fun. I had a good time. It was a blast. They shot missiles at me. I was able to pop my decoys, my flares, and I was able to avoid the missiles. Sometimes you can't even dodge the missiles if the server's not running good enough. You can't even dodge the missiles. You have to actually take them because they just won't go away. So you can see that the missiles went away. Our shots landed. The AI moved. In the second one, we killed him before he even got a chance to fight us, but in the second small clip. But you know, that's the point of the 600i, and the point of this is I used the 600i in bounties this week, and the 600i did a great job, and that's fantastic. Last week we did a Reliant gameplay and the server FPS was higher, and we chased them around a lot and had lots of fun combat then. I have nothing really to say about ship bounties other than kind of good things. Some of the bad things are, right, we still have the size 2 shield bug, but we've had the size 2 shield bug forever, guys. Please, CIG, help us with the size 2 shield bug. That would be so amazing. That would make bounties so much more fun because you wouldn't have to deal with that frontal shield and have to get behind them and all that kind of stuff. So that's one huge complaint I have about ship combat. But other than that, you know, when you're doing bounties, when you're doing VHRTs, it's all about the fun. It's all about having fun, and even if the server FPS is low, you still have fun. So whether the server FPS is high or low, ship bounties are great. But not to say it doesn't have its issues, okay? I came across a bug this week that I've never seen before. I don't know if it was the ship's fault, the server's fault, something else broke, whatever the deal is. There was a huge bug I came across this week, and I'm going to show it right now. Take a look. That is one thing the 400i is good for. It is definitely a missile boat. So we're going to come up on our targets. They haven't even popped up yet. This server is not running well. This server is not running well. Oh, I can see them. But I just don't have... That's weird. I don't have markers for them, but I could see them. Do you see that? Do you see them? Like, there he is. He just flew right by us. But I don't have a marker for him. I've never seen this.
Nice.
Can you target onto anything?
No.
This is really weird, guys. Hey, this is going in a new video that that's going to be coming out with soon. Hey, look, why don't we try to fire on them without targets? Alright, and we're back. So, as you can see, we flew the 400i, and actually this video has not came out yet. This video is actually scheduled for tomorrow's video, a 400i showcase, so make sure you check that one out just to get a tour of the ship, because we did go through a tour of the ship. We didn't get very much gameplay ship combat in it because, as you can see, there was that huge bug. I don't know if it was the 400i's fault. Guys, let me know down below if it's the 400i's fault that bug happened. I don't know. But we weren't able to target the ships at all. Like, what? Like, I've never seen that before. We had no chevrons, no Doritos, whatever you want to call the triangles. We didn't have any of them. We had no way of targeting the AI, so we couldn't use missiles for sure. We did actually take some of the ships out without using any target reticles and using no pips. So we were just firing blind and took out some of the ships, and we're actually able to complete some of the bounty. But with how annoying it was, we decided to just give up on it and be like, all right, it's broken. We don't know if it's 400 eyes fault or the server or whatever the deal is. But that was a huge bug, and I've never seen that before, guys. I've never been able to not target my targets, the AI, the whatever. Later on, we were able to target players as we were going back to the space station, but it was weird. Okay, so ship combat has its bads, and we got a couple more clips coming up. I'm going to show you 2 different clips. We did 2 different Idris fights this week. There's one that I posted that was the Idris versus the 890, 890 versus the Idris video, which was actually a really good space combat. So that was a highlight. The Idris versus 890 video was a highlight, but then we also did Idris versus 890 in a live stream this week as well, and that was definitely a low light. The server was bad. The Idris was popping in and out. He was all over the place. So when there's server desync and the AI does kind of like teleport, that's bad. That's really bad. But I'll tell you what, that didn't happen a lot this week. It only happened in this Idris fight, but for the most part, if there is bad server FPS, you will get some of that AI teleportation and stuff like that. But you know what happens. Let's take a look at the clips, guys. He's already smoking, guys. Listen, 890 is the way to go in an Idris fight. That's so baloney, server.
Still hitting him a little bit.
Yeah. Alright, so as you can see in that first clip, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was smooth. Everything was working right. You could see all the bullet fire. It was gorgeous. And in the second one, it was kind of stagnant. The ship wasn't moving. The Idris decided to stand there for a minute. You couldn't really see all the guns. They were firing at us, but you couldn't see them. We were taking damage for sure. Okay, so there was lots and lots of desync in that fight, and you saw the Idris kind of teleported a little bit, and it teleported some more, and I'll tell you what, that fight took forever. That Idris was all over the place. It was desyncing. It was horrible. CIG, please. I mean, I understand it was an Idris fight, so I can't be asking for too much. And but we couldn't even see the laser bullets. Like, we couldn't see the laser fire from the Idris. We were getting hit, and we just didn't know. And it was terrible. It was terrible. So if you caught that live stream, I'm sorry for that hour and a half long or maybe even 2 hour long Idris fight. It was insane, but he just kept on lagging and desyncing and teleporting, and it was awful. And it happens, and that was the bad, but the game is still beautiful. Check out this next clip on how beautiful it can be. It is.
Nice. There she is.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Beautiful scenes sometimes. The game can really be beautiful. Explosions. The game is great. It's got lots and lots of work it needs. It needs so much work. It has lots of problems, but it's an experience we just can't get anywhere else. and it's fantastic. So enough about that. Let's jump into the next part. That was ship combat. We're going to jump into the next part, and we're going to talk about bunkers. I don't have a whole lot about bunkers this week. I always do play a lot of bunkers, but for the most part, the game runs okay. The FPS is a big thing in bunkers, okay? So if you have high FPS, server FPS, if it's above 15 server FPS, those AI are rock stars. If it's below 10, they are pretty dumb, and you can get away with a lot of things. And that's pretty much it with that. The low FPS, it's ugly. High FPS, it's great and scary. There's some ups and downs. This week we've had free fly, right? Not during the week, but for the weekends we had free fly, and that has been a big thing. But to be honest, in my opinion, I think CIG has done a good job on servers this week. Even on fully populated servers of 100 people, I've still had okay FPS. And when I mean okay, I mean running around 7. And the game is playable at 7. The game becomes unplayable at 3 and 4 and 5, but if it's at 7, roughly to 10, the game's playable. And even with full servers at 100 and stuff, 110 actually, because I don't know what they're doing with the servers currently and why it's 110. I know they're talking about bumping it up to 200, but I guess right now they bumped it up to 110. But anyways, with Free Fly, I think the servers have been doing okay. Let's look at a couple clips of the good side of bunkers this week. A little bit warning on the first clip because I was screaming a little bit because I did jump into a predicament I wasn't ready for. We'll show off the good clips real quick. Let's take a look and then we'll look at the bad clips. All right, here we go. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Help! 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 I bit off more than I could chew. That was crazy. Kill him, Swag! Kill him! Ow, Swag, did you just shoot me?
Oh, no, I think it was him. I think he held onto the trigger while he was going down. Yeah. Oh,
Swag down, swag down.
Shot.
No one else. We killed them all. Get up. Thank you.
It's gonna be okay, Swag. Oh, wow.
How does it feel to be safe right now with nothing but pistol?
Feels good. Feels good. Feels good to have a team.
Well, I'm just gonna pick you up because things are going crazy over here.
Nothing but a pistol. I pistol with this whole bunker. Chico Shane.
Oh shit!
Cannot see you. I cannot see your dots, like your name.
It's getting crazy out here. Alright, so even on those good clips, now that I'm looking at it and stuff, there was lots of issues. So there was a little bit of server desync in some of those, and it's blatantly obvious. So let's talk about that a little bit, right? Like, it could be better. And some days it is better. And some days you have really good performance, whether the FPS is high or not in bunkers. But those were a couple good clips, a couple good moments. We did quite a bit of bunkers this week, and for the most part, I did fine. I don't seem to run into too many groundbreaking issues with bunkers. There were actually. So this week, I don't have any footage of it. I looked for it. I thought I had some of it recorded. Let me know if you guys remember anywhere, maybe in a live stream. But there was times where we went into a bunker, and the crew, my party, were having issues big time with seeing crazy desync. Like, us as players were teleporting everywhere. They couldn't see the enemies. They had no idea what was going on. And then when they came back to leave the elevator after we completed the mission, because it was fine on my end, when we went to the elevator, we're running a party of 4. 2 of them came back to the elevator and was like, the elevator's broken. You know the thing where the elevator becomes like turned lopsided and you can't get on it, and if you try to walk on the elevator you fall down to the lower depths? It was broken for them, but it was perfectly fine for me and the other person that was in the party. I think it was Mayo. So me and Mayo were fine, but the other 2 in our party, the elevator was broken. The server broke for them. So they ended up having to relog because they couldn't even go up the elevator. They were stuck, trapped in the bunker, and they had to relog. So that has to be fixed, right? Why are we getting desynced to where we can't even use an elevator? So there's that issue. Please fix that if you can. I mean, that's just something that happens, and if you have to relog, you have to relog. It's not the end of the world, right? You just have to relog. Obviously, if you're by yourself and the elevator breaks and you get that kind of desync, you're going to lose everything that's on your ship. You're going to have to reclaim your ship, and that's terrible. But when you went in a group, I guess it wasn't that bad because everything else was okay. We were able to even fly the other guy's ship back to Port Olisards to work from and things like that. So there was that issue. There's some bigger issues in bunkers that I've had this week. We're going to show them off now. Some of it, let's say, okay, it might be not necessarily bunkers problems. It's more of, we did Twitch's quest line this week, which is kind of a rogue criminal quest line, and her missions are completely broken. CIG, please fix Twitch's quest line because it's really good. It's actually interesting missions that are different than normal. They're not the same old just go to a bunker, kill things. There's different things you got to do, a little added extra oomph to the missions. So please fix Twitch's quest line, please. Let's take a look at them. Some of them were really broken, and at one point none of the enemies even spawned in. Let's take a look.
Are we clearing out everything?
Clearing out everything. Don't shoot civilians. Don't shoot civilians. Comms are down, but we're not murderers. We got a job to do. The job doesn't say kill civilians.
Just one. Count up one.
Pushing right.
Can we kidnap one?
Possibly.
Clear top right.
I think these crackheads are hiding.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Bottom
quiet.
floor. Clear.
Civilian.
Stairs clear. Seems to be empty. Go into the server room.
Copy.
Oh, we might have hostiles here. Nope, druggies.
Copy, tweakers.
Another civilian.
Checking server FPS.
Got some drugs over in the storage area.
Okay.
Got, I think that's like 4. Yeah. 8.
Do we have to wait for the whole stash to spawn?
No,
Or it's just this?
we're just looking for maze, but there might be more. It might be a slow spawn in for like enemies even too. So keep your eyes peeled. There's a couple red boxes to loot if people want to loot the red boxes.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Can you breathe on it?
Try to put it there. Try to put it there.
Oh,
Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah.
well, there you go. So, yeah, it's kind of a known issue that sometimes you can do some bunkers and the enemies won't even spawn at all. I've actually come across that happening a few times recently, and actually all the times that I've done an actual bunker and none of the enemies spawn, if you just wait, I've actually seen the enemies spawn after waiting for like 5 minutes. The enemies will come out and they'll spawn and you'll be able to complete the bunker mission. I don't know if that'll happen every single time, but that's happened twice recently, and I've just been like, hey guys, just wait a minute, just wait. And we waited like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then boom, the 4 enemies that were missing spawned, and we completed the mission. And it was just like that. In this situation, we were doing the Twitch mission, and none of the enemies spawned. I don't know if there was even actually supposed to be enemies there, but the point is, we did this bunker where there was drugs, and you had to find the maze, and none of the enemies spawned. And to make it worse, the maze that we found, it took us a while to find the maze. If you've seen the video, thank you guys. It was a fun video to make. We had a lot of fun making the video. We found the maze, and once we found the maze, no one was able to grab it. Like, we were able to grab it with the multi-tool, but no one was able to physically take their hands and pick up the box. So in order to complete the mission, you have to place the box in that container there. There's a little button that says place when you open up the box container drop-off location. You have to place it in there, and you can't do that with the multi-tool. So that was completely busted. We couldn't grab the box at all, and we had no idea on how to fix it. We tried a bunch of different things, and none of them worked until finally something did work. And we got the maze in our hands right now. What we did is we had Tyrannus here went and stored his ship and then took it back out, and he was able to grab the maze. So let's see if we put it in the box and it works. Let's check it out. So when he goes to put it in the box, it should say place.
Placing.
Boom. There it is. And voila, contract complete. We did it. Star Citizen does never defeats us, guys. Never defeats us. Well, and there you go. Eventually, we put our heads together and we tried 8 different things, and one of them did work. We ended up storing a ship with the drugs on it, and then taking it back out, and we were able to grab the maze then. So that kind of shows right there that even if the game's giving you issues, you can have amazing accomplishments that in the end it feels great. You beat the bugs, you beat Star Citizen, you defeated CIG and reigned supreme and got the job done. And that's part of Astro Mercenaries, guys. That's what our org does, is we get the job done no matter what, guys. It doesn't matter if you paid us, if you gave us a contract, we 100% guarantee we're going to complete that mission for you. And that's what Astro Mercenaries is all about. We're going to come together, we're going to figure it out, and we're going to get through this as a team. So that was a great example of just pulling through all the bugs and finishing up in the end. So bunkers, how did they do this week? They normally do okay for me. There was some times where, like I said, enemies don't spawn. There are some times where my buddies couldn't get up and down the elevator, so that's rough. Again, we did have a free fly, so there was some loaded servers and stuff, and it still performed okay. Will it perform okay next week? You have to stay tuned until next Tuesday to see if it works. Leave down in the comments below what you guys experienced in your bunkers gameplay this week. Did you guys have ground breaking bugs? Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them together. If I'm not being hard enough, do let me know, because I'm trying. I'm giving the criticism I can. There was desync, there was issues, but the game was playable. So this week, bunkers playable. They did well. Everything's playable so far. Bounties, ship bounties, playable. Now let's talk about player combat. I did a lot of player combat this week. A lot of player combat. We took out the Cuddy Blue. I bought the Cuddy Blue last week, and we took out the Cuddy Blue, and we're hunting bounties, player bounties, all week long. We had a blast. A lot of the content that I did in the Cuddy Blue actually wasn't caught on footage, but I'll show you some of the things that we did and the ups and the downs. Really, honestly, player combat this week, actually, before I get into the clips, player combat worked really well, guys. This week, I didn't really have any issues with player combat. There's a couple times where it's like my bullets missed and stuff, but that was more of like I was using the Karna rifle from a long distance, and you really can't use the Karna rifle from a long distance. It's more of a short range gun. But yeah, player combat was great this week. Let me show you some examples of why player combat was great this week, and just had a full, fun experience and not very much desync lag trouble. It was good. Let's take a look.
Okay.
I'm firing on him. He's right there. He's right there.
Where is he?
Right there on the pad, bro.
Where on the pad?
I got him. Where's your guy's target?
See him.
He's dead. Jimmy's dead. He's up on the top of the pad, bro. He's floating in the middle of the air.
I got him.
You got the other guy?
Yeah. Did you get the other guy?
Yeah, I got the other guy.
Nice. Oh, who's shooting? You?
Yeah, I'm finishing him off.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, we could have looted them and stole their stuff, but hey, we did our job. We
Ooh, 70K, bro.
yeah.
Nice.
I got 87,250 altogether. Hey, listen, we are collecting the evidence.
Collecting evidence. Yeah, that's how they call it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're collecting evidence. Okay, I think that's it.
That is most definitely it.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a whole lot there as far as gameplay clips on that one. It was kind of just shut and dry. We were chasing these guys that were at SPK. We were chasing their bounties, and they were clearing their crime stat, and the comms were up. So it was really weird that they were at SPK with the comms up. I don't know if they were new or whatnot, but we were able to get the drop on them as we jumped off the platform there and landed our shots and got the surprise on them. And they had done all the drugs and stuff. They had pulled out all the drugs to the pad, and they had lost their ship. So they were waiting for somebody to come pick them up. And while they're waiting for somebody to come pick them up, they ran into bounty hunters. And that's what happened. We collected some money. It was actually it was a fantastic run. Me and Doc combined, we made over 400,000 on that trip, on that bounty. Together, we made 400,000 in like 20 minutes. As a cop, that was awesome. It was absolutely incredible. The experiences we had in player bounties this week were amazing. We chased down plenty of guys. We chased down a Redeemer and took down a Redeemer in our Cuddy Blue. Just being able to be faster than them and get around them and slowly work on them, and we were able to finish them off. There was a couple other guys. There was a Gladius that we tore through. There was some other ships. There was lots of player bounties, and all in all, player combat, whether the server FPS is high or low, doesn't matter. The desync can be an issue. If there's lots of player desync, you can see the players teleport around, but I don't think there was too much of that, at least on my end this week. I just have good things to say about PvP in this game. Whether FPS is high or low, PvP seems okay, besides the invisible players, okay? That invisible glitch thing is still in the game. Please get that invisible glitch taken care of, because if there's invisible players and they are taking advantage of it, that's just wrong. We've come across it multiple times where one of us have gone invisible, and you just relog and it'll fix it. So if you do become invisible, make sure you do relog. If you're out there in the verse and you're committing crimes, do know Astro Mercenaries are on a cop little hitch right now. I'm definitely having fun in the Cuddy Blue, so we're coming to get you. So be careful out there committing crimes, as Astro Mercenaries are coming after you. But for the most part, we have a good time. We have a blast. We do lots of 1v1 PvP combat as a team for exercise, practicing our dogfighting skills. And aside from the little desync here and there, things go well. There's still lots of desync in the game. Like I said, it's still an issue. But for the most part, when it comes to player versus player, as long as your server is not just like straight up dying, PvP is pretty good. Let's take another couple of clips from a earlier video this week and look at that as well to show you even more proof that sometimes there's not player desync and the game runs well. So look at this couple of clips here. I'm gonna take the executive decision and we're gonna withdraw and get out. I don't know, guys. Stay here. Man the fort, Pico. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead, guys. We got him. We got him. Alright, and we're taking his gear. Well, and there you go. If you recognize those, then you've been watching my Zero to Hero, and man, was that video where we went to Ghost Hollow wild. We made some serious cash there, and ran into a player, and it was a pretty low pop server because the server was running great, and there was no one at Ghost Hollow, so we took advantage of that, and went to Ghost Hollow and made some serious cash. While we were on the verge of making our second load of money, there was a player that showed up, and we panicked, and I had Pico on me, so I didn't know what to do. You know, I gotta save Pico, and I tried to get out of there and save the money, and we got shot climbing the ladder, and it was devastating that we died. But we real quick turned around. We had the Pisces, so it was only a minute of reclaim time, so we real quick turned around, got the Pisces back out, flew down right away, snuck up on the guy and got him back, and it was a win-win for us. We got our money, we got Pico. It was great. It was fantastic. We had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast watching that video. If you haven't watched that video, go and watch it, guys. Zero to Hero episode 7. It was fantastic. So, player combat. It works when it works, and I think it worked really great this week. We're talking about this week right now. Player combat this week went really great for me. I don't have very many bads on player combat at all this week. Desync seemed to be in check, even with free fly. Leave down in the comments below if you guys think otherwise. It's all good. We can have a conversation, and we can and have our own opinions, and we can talk about. I'd like to hear you guys' opinions, because the game works for me, but might not work for you. But I'm giving you guys what I saw, my opinion, and how I feel, and maybe it'll be different next week. We're going to talk about this every single week, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion every single week. So this week was a good week to go play Star Citizen. So hopefully that means next week will be good. So I recommend to go out there and go play. It's working. So that's player combat. Let's talk about a little bit of piracy, which is even more PvP, more player combat. But today we ran into, or not today, this week we ran into a group of people that were on a pirating kick, and decided to mess with Astro Manny on pirating. I mean, he didn't know who I was, and I don't expect him to know who I am. I'm not that big of a YouTuber or anything, but he definitely knows who we are now. So let's take a couple clips and look at some pirating that happened this week, and we'll talk about that. So here we go. Wow. Hey, Doc, they're in the ship. Diego, they're in the ship.
Where are we going?
They're in our ship.
Oh, shoot. How the heck?
I'm above moving spike now.
It's okay, we got a guy on site, so it's okay. You guys continue, I'll be right back.
Come on.
Hey, any unoccupied personnel, we need you in the other room. We have a situation. There has been trespassers upon our ship, and we have lost control of our ship, and
Oh shit, where are you at?
Doc is held hostage. So Quantum to Doc, Quantum to Diego. We're doing a massive battle to get Doc back. Going back to the other chat.
You want to swap us over?
Diego, how's your fight going?
So far, we are going back and forward.
Okay. We're here. Good.
He's waiting for me, I bet.
Okay, that's fine. You're gonna die one way or another. So
Yeah, just
Get your gun out.
just make it
No,
die.
he's here.
Engaging.
knock him
I
out.
got him.
Knock him out.
I
Good
got
job.
him.
Turn off the self-destruct or jump out. You could get in the seat. Objective complete. We killed the target. Wonderful. Awesome.
Outstanding. Great work.
Oh, I didn't make.
You didn't make it. It's okay.
Okay, Doc.
Outstanding, Doc.
Well, so for some context there, we did a rescue, and I could put this in the clip, the rescue and everything, but I think the video is getting a little long, and we're not going to go too much longer than that. But we did a rescue, and while we're doing that, the guy's buddies snuck onto our ship and took me out. And Doc was AFK in the turret. So they can't, in the cuddy, you can't reach the turret guy. You can't shoot him while he's up in the turret. So Doc was stuck there, and they were negotiating with us in chat saying, we have your partner. We're commandeering your vehicle. They're really good sports. Shout out to them. Off the top of my head, I'll get you their names. And the next, I have them. We'll get you their names. But they were really good sports. They were really awesome. We had a really good time with them. And we snuck up on them, and instantly, they murdered me, and it was instant. I was like, okay, listen, you don't mess with Astro Manny and the Astro Mercenaries. So Doc was in the turret. We had Diego right on their back, because Diego was actually with us, but he was just in a second ship. And so Diego was already there. And so Diego's ready. I instantly jumped into the other Discord chat where we had a big group of people doing another activity, and I instantly called them. I was like, guys, everyone to Doc right now. And they were there. Those guys, the response time, we were there. That guy, there was a group of them. I think there was 4 of them. And they had the whole Astro Mercenary crew that was on that night just pop up. There was like 12 of us. There was like 12 guys deep up on these guys with an instant respawn time. And it was fantastic. And that's something about this game that is amazing. The thing we did there, we got pirated. And we instantly responded. We took out the target that was on board ship. Doc was able to take the guy out inside the ship, but Doc had unfortunately died because the guy had self-destructed the ship. So that's why I told him, you're going to die one way or another, so get out there and try to get the kill. And he did. He killed the guy, sent him to jail, and we were able to scare away the other guys and push them all back. And then we weren't done with them. They had messed with us. We were done with them. So we infiltrated into their ranks and got ourselves a little sabotage into their ranks, and we were able to track them down. And let's take a look at what happened for the rest of it. Oh wait, before we go, I do apologize for the quality of the video. This is during a live stream, and for some reason when I take the recordings of a live stream and try to put them into a video, the quality isn't very good. So I do apologize for the live stream quality video. When you guys are seeing clips from other videos, it's still in high quality and it's still high definition and it looks amazing. But the quality from the live streams is kind of bad, and I do apologize for that, but it is all I can do. So let's take a look. We were able to track these guys down, and yeah, we weren't happy with how they had snuck up on my ship. So we definitely had to do the same and take control of their ship and take them out. And then I'll give you the names of the guys at the end of that, and we'll do a final wrap up. So here we go. Let's watch that clip. Hello?
Go for all one.
Yep, go ahead.
I can see Playhouse.
Doc, where the hell is Point? Gotcha. Do I open fire?
No.
Hold on, they're already trapped.
Wait, is Mama's inside that ship? Like the
Yeah.
ship?
Pilot.
Roger that.
Alright, so we're gonna play along.
I'm in their kill box.
One shot to the engine.
How did they find us?
Oh, somebody's coming out in the rail gun.
Is he?
Watch out.
I shot at.
Yep.
Yeah, he's shooting at me.
Did I shoot him?
Is this the way it's gonna go? Okay.
I mean,
Then
Just shoot the little guy. I see a little body.
Other engine.
No, just shoot
No, the guys in
little
the-
bodies out here. There's no guys floating around. Try to hit them.
Drag try to get him if you can.
Yeah,
Yeah, out.
stop. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead.
Nah.
Yeah. Is there any more?
At least the one guy's dead. Is
That
there?
guy shooting.
Do you guys see the second guy?
Yeah, he's going back to the airlock now.
He's
I
in
see
the
him, I see
airlock.
him. He's right next to the wing.
Go ahead and board.
I'm boarding from
He's
the
right,
rear.
right below the wing.
Well, there you go, guys. Shout out to Drake Hurley and his crew. There was actually a couple Hurley guys, right? So it was the Hurley gang. Shout out to them for pirating Astro Manny and the Astro Mercenaries crew in the first part. And then in the second part, we had to get you back. We had definitely had you guys completely surrounded. It was a lot of fun. And again, these guys were a really good support. And we hope to see them again around the verse and maybe hang out with them and have a good time. It was their first time trying it out. And they did a really good job. So really good job, Drake and Drake Hurley and the rest of the gang. You guys did a really awesome job. Unfortunate that you had picked my ship as your first test subject, but you know, hey, we all had fun and it was a blast. And it was one of the things that you wouldn't have it any other way, right? So thank you guys for that. That was awesome. As you can see, guys, we had them completely surrounded. If you look at all the different triangles, all the different chevrons, the Doritos, whatever you want to call them, there was at least 6 of our ships there, and I had the quantum dampener going, so he wasn't going anywhere. And they decided to go with one final go away crash, or one attack. They came out and EVA'd with railguns and tried to take out 6 ships with the EVA railguns. It was really cool. We got some of them, and we took their armor and stuff and let them go. And they were getting off, so they ended up dying. But it was all fun and games. We had a good time, and hopefully to see them again in the verse, like I said. So that's that. That's all I got for you guys today as far as clips. Let's talk about this in general, the review again. So total wrap up, right? This week we had Free Fly. This week was still part of the Foundation event, and there's a lot of players on. There's guiding, there's recruiting. I actually didn't review any of the guiding and recruiting. That's something I should have done. I apologize for that. We're gonna review that next week because I want more footage of it. I didn't get too much footage of it this week. I actually did last week, but that was considered last week. So this Friday, I didn't do any guiding. But last Friday, I did. But that was last week, and that wasn't part of this week's review. So this was the review that we did. We did lots of space combat. We did lots of bunkers. And we did lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of player combat and PvP. And when you're doing PvP, the game runs well. Whether the FPS is good, whether the FPS is bad, the game runs okay. Desync can be an issue, but for the most part, the game runs okay. We had a great time. Bunkers, I had a great time. Some of my friends didn't have the best times. I have had a couple people complain about bunkers this week, that they've had a little bit of issues. So bunkers are always wonky, especially when the servers are congested and there's a lot of people on the game. The FPS can be low and the bunkers could be kind of whack. So do be aware of that. There's a lot of players on the game right now with the Foundation Festival going on. There's a lot of players currently on the servers, so bunkers can sometimes be funky. CIG, if you're planning on making your servers 200 player servers, please do know that bunkers and FPS combat can sometimes get a little wonky. So help us out on that one. Be aware of that, guys. And that's my bunker review. My space combat is always going to be okay, whether the FPS is high or low. Space combat will prevail and give you some good times, whether it's great times or okay times. It'll always be somewhat positive. The AI will desync and teleport from places to places, but this week they didn't. This week, other than the Idris, I didn't have any other problems with desync while doing space combat. PvP, again, like I said, fantastic. I was able to see everybody. They weren't teleporting around. So overall, this week, Star Citizen was playable. Guys, we went through a free fly during Foundation Festival, and the game performed well. Not excellent. The game performed well. It has its problems, and we'll come back and talk about those problems more. But in my opinion, the game performed well, so I'm going to recommend people to play the game this coming up week and expect to have an okay performance, a pretty good performance, because if we look at the week before, hopefully the following week will be just as good. And I'll catch you guys next Tuesday to talk about that week coming up and give you guys my opinion on what happened in that week. Leave down below in the comments below what you guys thought about this week. Let's talk about it. We can discuss it in the comments and discuss your guys' experience and all those those kinds of different things that we had this week. Let's make this a cool, fun new series for us to do every week on a Tuesday. We'll talk about last week's experience and our expectations for this week. So smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to do this every week. And always know that there is going to be more content. I give you a video every single day. And remember, there is a giveaway coming at 1,000 subs, so make sure you subscribe and make sure you like and comment on those videos to enter the drawing. So appreciate all your guys' support. Thank you guys. This was Astro Manny's first week review of Star Citizen this week. Highlights, lowlights, the good and the bad. How did Star Citizen perform this week? This week, Star Citizen performed good. Okay, especially when you consider Free Fly and Foundation Festival, Star Citizen did well. So I recommend you guys to get out there and play the game. Even with all the people on the game's working. Leave down a comment below, again, like I said, how your experience was. I'll see you guys next week for next week's review, but I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's video, because you know there's a video every single day. So this is Astro Manny signing off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and adios.